One further note about indexicality. Conventionally, usually, you think in the terms that a photograph is indexical, while a drawing is not indexical. A drawing is iconic. A drawing resembles the object, the cat, while a photograph to a higher extent is the cat. That is a common idea, but I would say that it is quite false. And you could say that the drawing is also indexical. Because the reason why we say that a photograph is indexical is that we have a causality chain from the object to the image. There was a cat in front of the camera. Light was reflected on the cat and went through the lens of the camera. And the light from the cat was recorded on film or CCD and then stored on the camera. In a digital camera, the light measures is stored electronically and digitally, and so on. So there is a chain from the cat to the final image. And if you make a change to the cat, if the cat has only one ear, for example, then the image changes because of this causality. But you could say that when you make a drawing, there are some kind of causality also, because if I paint a painting of a cat, I give it 2 ears, pointy ears, and the reason why I do that is that the actual cat has 2 ears. So iconicity and indexicality is kind of mixed up. Resemblance and direct connection is mixed up, you could say, because when you make a drawing, the causality goes through your brain. And of course, if I have a real cat in front of me and I make a drawing of that cat, since the indexicality, the causality goes through my brain, it goes through my eyes, through my brain, and through my hand, and onto the paper that I'm drawing on. The chain goes that way. And since the causality goes through my brain, I can change the image. I can make it up. If I want a cat with 4 ears or 4 eyes, I can just draw it with 4 ears and 4 eyes. But nowadays, even though you take a photograph, it is almost as simple to manipulate the photograph, and in the photograph give the cat 4 eyes. So I would say that the photograph and the drawing is coming closer, and the line between photograph and drawing, between indexicality and the iconicity, are blurred. But there is one quite important difference between iconicity and indexicality, and between a drawing and a photograph. And that is what you could say serendipity or accidents. If I take a photograph, there is lots of things in the photograph that I don't control. I can control them, but I don't, because I don't have time or I don't care. If I take a photograph of people in a park, for example, there might be a butterfly passing by. And the butterfly is then incorporated in the photograph because it was there. And that was by pure chance. And very much of the content of the image, the photograph, is there because I didn't control it. It just appeared. While if I make a drawing like this one, everything in the drawing is controlled. Everything is decided upon by the painter. Every little detail, there is a conscious decision behind it. And for example, in this painting, there is a kind of fake serendipity, because if we look closer, we can see in the middle here a butterfly. But if I take a photograph and there is a butterfly, the butterfly is there because it was there. I didn't put it consciously there. It just appeared. But if I make a drawing and I add a butterfly like the painter did here, that is a very conscious decision. You don't have that kind of accidents in a painting. Not in this kind of resembling painting, at least. So when the lines between iconicity and indexicality is blurred, this division between design decisions becomes more important, and it becomes more important as a way of separating a drawing from a photograph. So you could say that a drawing or a painting is more intentional, more consciously decided upon, while a photograph is more accident, more serendipity. But of course you have a blend there also. If you go back to the King Kong image here, of course much of this is decided upon. The gash in his chest, for example, it just didn't appear. There have been someone that decided that he had a wound there. But other things like the exact position of the hair on his body, that has been mathematically calculated. So it is more or less not a conscious design where every hair should go. So you could say that this computer-generated image of King Kong is also a kind of blend between a drawing and a photograph. And once again, maybe we have to accept that images like this are both photographs and they are not photographs.